Good night, everyone. Today is 16 June 2026. Now it's 9 p.m. We will have our first day one stand-up meeting for our sprint two. Just for your information, since we have a change of roles, like we swap the Scrum Master and developer roles among our team. For now, for this sprint, I will be your new Scrum Master for this sprint. So even though our sprint starts from 15 June and end at 19 June, which is yesterday, the sprint started yesterday. Our day one, the daily stand-up meeting will start today, which is 16 June. Okay, so before we jump into the user stories for our sprint, I would like to highlight that after our sprint one push, we've officially reached 48% completion rate, which is very impressive of the entire NextScholar project. And you guys have delivered a staggering 31 story points, which is a massive achievement. So I would like to congratulate you all for your hard work. We've set a high standard for quality, and for our sprint two, I would like you guys to maintain that same energy. Without further ado, let's get our sprint two day one meeting underway. So for this sprint, we have three major features that our product owner wanted us to do for this sprint. The first one is the user story 201, which is the roster list for lecturers. So the description is that as a lecturer, I want to add students directly into my list based on my research field so that I won't miss out on any potential students. And the next user story is the US202, which is the direct messaging system. And the description is that as a lecturer, I want to message students directly within NextScholar, where the communication is faster than email. And the last one, the third user story, which is the US303, the quick visual guidance for features, which is our extension from our Sprint 1 tutorial features that we've done, such as the introductory and current user tutorial. And the description is that as a user, I want quick visual guidance and explanations on features so that I can use NextScholar without confusion. So by the way, Hong Jie, since you told me earlier before the meeting that you are leading our testing phase as a developer, so I would like to ask which will kick in once the designs and builds are ready. And I want you to start keeping an eye on the meeting so you can understand the developer workflow. So now developers, I want you all to distribute the user stories among yourselves, which I stated earlier, the three user stories. I will give you some time to think, and you can communicate with other developers during this time. I will give you around 30 seconds to a minute. You can communicate or you can just use chat or whatever.
All right.
Okay, so without further ado, Yan Bing, I would like you to start with your opinion.
Okay, so I will be in charge of US 201, the roster list for lectures. So for my sprint backlog, for the roster list, my focus is on the UI. For my tasks, I want it to list button to prove immediate visual feedback, so the lecture knows their choice is saved. So for tomorrow, I'm making a draft for my roster venue. I want it to feel personal, and I'm learning towards list venue because it's easier to scan names and state updates quickly. So that's all.
Okay, that sounds nice. And I will be running the full test once you are done for the feature. And also, I will spend my time to the tomorrow drafting my test plan based on the requirement given. After that, I will be looking out for the edge case, like what happen if lecturer tries to add the same student twice repeatedly. So I'm ready to test that as soon as you build up your features.
Okay, that's a solid plan, Yanbing and Hongjie. So moving on, really, do you give me your opinion?
Hello. I will be in charge of the US 202, the direct messaging system. For my sprint backlog, first is design the messaging UI. The goal is to make this feel like a modern, professional workspace. And the second one is implement sending and receiving feature. So for the task chat functionality at the end, I think this will be the task for the Hongjie. For tomorrow, my main task is the prototype design. I will designing the UI and the contact button placement to ensure it's intuitive for user.
Okay,
That's
that's
all.
great. Yeah, okay. So that's great. By the way, Hongjie, our tester developer, do you think that during the testing phase at the edge of the sprint, you can test and coordinate these to add added user stories with our previous user stories in our previous sprint, like our sprint one?
All right, I got it covered. I'm starting on a cross feature checklist now to ensure the messaging system uh, doesn't break our existing profile navigation or search logic when it is fully integrated.
Okay. So by the way, really, do you think that your design can complement Yanbing's design, the US 301?
That's a
I mean
great
201,
question.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have been thinking about it since both the rooster list and the messaging system involve student profiles. I think we should align on a consistent action bar design. If we use the same styling for the add to roster button and the message button, it will feel like one cohesive interface for the lecture. Rather than two separate tools, I will make sure to share my component style with Yanbing tomorrow so we can keep the UI uniform. That's all.
Okay, yeah. So that is a great demonstration of teamwork. So now moving on to our last developer, you may walk me through your plan, please.
Okay, so I'm Yumei and I'm in charge of US 303, which is the feature guidance. And for my sprint backlog, I'm about to creating a non-intrusive, reusable tooltip component. And my goal is to make sure that these are actually helpful for users. And I'm also designing a soft floating bubbles that appears on the hover. This can make it interesting and more giving out more soft appearance to the user, and my plan for tomorrow is to make a draft for the pop-ups that provide quick explanation on mouse over interaction.
That sounds like a great addition to our current tutorials.
I think it is a solid plan. For my part, I will prepare to test the condition to make sure the tooltips is triggered consistently in hover in and hover out. Also, I will be ready to test those specific timing behavior uh, after you have integrate the component.
Okay, I love the focus on the user flow, Hongjian. I like that you try to test everything so that there are no bugs and errors later down the line when we execute our product. So Hongjie, even though you are waiting for the build to finish before running the full test, so does everyone feel comfortable with their starting points for tomorrow?
Yeah, so I will pin the group once I have the first wireframes for the roster venue.
And I also will share my messaging prototype tomorrow. I want to make sure the color scheme fits the existing dashboard before I get too deep into the layout. So I will be the workflow is smoother.
Okay, and I'll need you guys to tell me if the tooltip feel intrusive, and I'll be asking for feedback on the hover timing. Is it a second too slow or too fast?
Okay, understood, Yumei. Okay, so just a reminder, for this sprint, the conclusion is Yanbing is in charge of our US 201 of the roster view. Really is mapping out the chat interface, which is the user story 202. And then at the end, Yume will identify the tooltip placements, which will be US 303. And finally, our last developer, which is our main tester for this sprint, is Hongjie. Hongjie will be preparing the test strategies and checklists when the testing phase starts, which is basically almost nearing the end of the sprint. And we have a big sprint ahead, so if anyone hits a design block, let's bring up immediately in this meeting. Don't spend hours trying to fix something on your own. You can reach out to me or other developers. So any issues for this meeting before I end it? Are there any issues,
No, I
No
have no
issue.
issue.
developers?
No, sir.
No. Okay, fantastic.
No.
Okay.
Right.
Fantastic. Let's get some rest. I'm excited to listen to your progress tomorrow. With that, our meeting ends today. Thank you.